All right. So what do you want to talk about?
Debate me that griefing is morally wrong.
Okay. So so the reason I think griefing is morally wrong, okay, is because I think that intentionally lowering someone's well-being is morally wrong. Okay, and if we were to have a completely like analogous situation in real life, right? Like if someone were to destroy someone's paintings in real life to intentionally lower that person's well-being, right? We would consider that person to be like morally wrong uh, in doing that. But for some reason, when we're playing a video game, it's okay to, destroy people's stuff that they worked, hours on, and to intentionally lower their well-being. And I don't know the symmetry breaker on what makes that morally acceptable.
Between a painting and a video game?
Yeah. So if you
Well,
want,
a painting's in real life and it has value,
yeah. Well, I mean,
monetary value.
okay. So let's say it didn't have any monetary value. Okay, let's say that you couldn't sell the painting to anyone. Okay, and when you say it's
It's
in
still
real
real
life,
life, though.
when you say it's in real life, that's like kind of like it seems to me like it's like circular logic. Like you're just pointing out a difference that like I like do you think if someone were to make a painting in like maybe a painting video game or something that they value just as much as like a painting they made in real life, if that is like any that they worked equal time on and value just as much as the real life painting, if someone were to like destroy or hack their virtual painting, is that wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I just don't understand why people make an excuse for like griefing in games like Minecraft or GTA 5 when people literally spend like
It's because, listen,
days.
it's because it's in the spirit of fun.
It's in the okay. Um, what exactly do you mean by that? Like, are you saying the people being griefed like want it to happen?
No, no, they should have fun with it though.
But
But a person who gets their painting ruined, they shouldn't have fun with it.
okay, but like if it was in the spirit of fun to like go out with my teenage friends, go to like an elderly painting group and just like destroy all their paintings, and it had no monetary value. It was just like a recreational thing. I don't know if that would be uh, good. I mean, it might be fun for us,
Is
but
it a virtual elderly home?
no. But again, they value the real life paintings just as much, and none of them are physically hurt. It's just the paintings that are damaged. Like if they value the paintings just
But
as much as
that's not in the spirit of fun.
well,
That's just mean spirited.
okay. So okay, so like if some uh, are you saying there has to be some like fun element to the act of like grieving to make it okay? Like if
Yeah,
someone's like running away from you or something like that and they're trying to escape you, then it's okay because there's some
yeah, that
like
makes
challenge there or something.
that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Well, would you say that if they aren't doing it for that reason, it doesn't matter? Because there's a like with GTA 5, right? You can grieve people's cargo. People will basically just like drive away from you and try to escape from you, right? But a lot of the times, um, there's like game modes, right, where you can have actual like AIs run away from you and escape from you, and you can blow them up in oppressors, right? But they don't play these game modes because they don't find them entertaining. Like what they really find entertaining is just the fact that these um, people are having their well-being lowered.
Yeah, but they have the option to go to like a private server, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but that seemed like that argument to me kind of seems like the argument people will give for like, well, she shouldn't have been wearing, revealing clothes type thing. Like, sure, like these. Well, there's a Okay, listen, it would make sense, right, if there was like no consequence to doing it in a private server, but there is, right? You get a 1% bonus for every like player that's in the lobby. So people will choose to sell in populated lobbies for that bonus. Just like some women might like wearing like revealing clothes. It doesn't mean that just because they engage in an activity where it's like high risk and reward ratio that it's going to be okay for someone to um, commit X to them, in my opinion at least.
Yeah, but the expectation is that you're going to get griefed already. So by joining, you're agreeing to it.
Well, there's a chance. Are you saying there's some like contract you have to sign where there's a possibility of you being griefed and you're like aware of that?
Yeah, because most people want that risk. You know what I mean? It makes it more fun for them.
Okay. So now, okay. So are you saying that like now we can have a situation in real life where it covers this, right? So we can have like a room, okay, in like the middle of the desert or something. Um, there's like a city, right? Everyone has food, everyone has water, right? But there's like a room where there's like some really tasty food, you know, and people go there, and there's like you have to sign a contract before entering the room, and it's basically like, okay, you can do one of two things: you can get food, or you can block people from getting food. And blocking people from getting food would literally have like no benefit to you at all, right? So you choose to get the food, and then if you block the food, like,
Well, the benefit is the fun that you get from blocking.
well, yeah, but the fun is having other people suffer because they've now been blocked the food. Like, even though you've signed
Yeah,
the
that's the whole
contract,
point.
no, yeah, but I mean, isn't that a little messed up to like block people from,
It's a
taking like
enjoyable
tasty food?
suffering.
Well, I mean,
People who go in there know that they're going to have that chance of suffering, and they do it for that reason because they like the risk.
but I mean, you really think that the people in that situation aren't going to like want that tasty
Are they
food or
going to
want the
starve
like
if
because
they don't get the food?
yeah, because people in GTA 5, like, they want to grind money. They want to get uh money so they can purchase stuff. I don't know if they like secretly, like the fact that they might
It's
get
not a
griefed,
secret.
because like people literally spend
They
eight
can grind money
hours.
easily on their own.
They can.
They can just cheat it in, but they like it because there's a chance that they're going to
Well,
lose it,
there's
so
other
it's more
reasons.
enjoyable.
There's other reasons why people like grinding in video games. Like, it's like people. There's a lot of people, like, they're professional. They don't like cheating. They like earning everything legit. Like, if you're in Call of Duty Black Ops or something, and someone just like boosts up your ranking like to like, the highest ranking, and you get everything in the game. It's it just doesn't seem as fun to these people if they don't like work hard on it.
Yeah, well then they should just play a different game.
Well, yeah, but the thing is they get a benefit from it, like a unique experience. Like, the unique experience with playing GTA 5 is, it's an
Yeah,
open
why do you
world.
want to take away from the majority's unique experience of the griefing, just for a few people who they want to do it all
Oh,
legit
because I
and
think
don't want to have a risk of you losing it. You
well
know what I
because I
mean?
think
It's not
they're
even legit then if they don't have a risk.
well I think because their way of having fun is like evil. Like, if you have fun by making other people suffer, that's why I have the problem with their fun, kind of.
Like if it's explicitly banned on whatever server or whatever, then that's wrong. But if it's not, then the implication is that that's part of the game.
Yeah, but
That's part of
I
the
mean, it could be
interactions you're
part of
supposed to
like
have.
it can be like part of a government or part of a society's laws or whatever, that like, killing someone is justified, right? Like, if you were to move to like a city where you had to sign a contract that like there were no laws or anything like that,
Yeah, but
and
I
you
don't think the
chose to move.
benefit
No,
outweighs the harm there.
you don't think
But it does in the case of griefing because that's part of the fun of the game.
the benefit of um, murdering people to being murdered
Yeah,
is
that's
different.
that's
Oh,
that's not even that's way outweighed. The negative way outweighs the positive there.
okay.
But virtual currency is just
Yeah.
for a lot
Okay.
of people just a small. It's going to cause them a very small amount of suffering, but they
Well,
get a
okay,
lot of
but you,
joy from the risk in it.
yeah, but you understand, right? If someone works like 4 hours or literally sometimes 8 hours to fill up a workhouse in GTA 5, uh, and then they spend like 8 hours making a painting or something. Like, do you not understand that those things are going to be like comparable, kind of like if it has no
Yeah, that's
monetary
frustrating, but
value or anything?
it's like you go into like a paint like a painting house, right? Where like they're gonna destroy your painting, and you have other
Yeah,
options
yeah,
easily.
but the
But there's
reason, the specific reason why you go there isn't, in my opinion, isn't because you want that risk, right? The reason why is
you
because
want
of
the
other benefits, right? Like your family is there, your friends are there, right? Just like playing GTA 5 is a unique experience. Like going to this shop must be a unique experience to make you want to
but
sign
it's
that
unique
contract.
also because there's the griefers. That's part of the uniqueness of
I
it.
I like I've seen a lot of stuff in GTA 5, and if it's true that there's like because I could see on PC, I feel like this would be stronger because you can easily like uh go and invite onlys, I guess. But uh sorry, I lost my track of thought.
Do you ever play Minecraft?
Yeah, I play Minecraft.
You know how there's like those guys that blow up your house?
Yeah,
You think it's morally wrong for them to put that in the game because some people might not want to?
I don't think it's morally wrong to put it in the game. It just, well, it depends on why they're putting it in the game. But it's, I mean,
To
I'm pretty
create
sure
some risk.
Minecraft has rules against griefing, right? But I don't think like the
Well,
Minecraft developers are like,
some servers do. It'd be wrong to do it on those. But if you go into a server that doesn't
yeah,
explicitly ban it, then what's the
yeah.
problem?
So I don't think that the server admins who don't like specifically ban people for doing that, I don't think they have like this evil intention of like wanting to lower um the person's
It's
well-being.
not evil. It's for risk. It's for fun.
Yeah, okay, well
That's the whole reason
with
those
okay,
explosive
so
guys are in.
okay, yeah. So with servers like 2B2 or whatever it's called, um I complete like that is 100%. I agree with you 100% there. That's perfectly fine, right? Because in that situation like you can literally ask anyone joining. They want to join because of that like chaos, griefing. Like if that wasn't in the game, they wouldn't want to join. Like there's building Minecraft servers you could easily join, right? So
Yeah, but how do you
now,
know that's
if
not the
now,
case for the GTA?
yeah, okay. So the case with GTA, like griefers, I mean grinders, will literally like, okay, so it's a combination of things, right? So they'll spend a lot of time, make grinding, right? And then they will literally like leave servers if there's like someone chasing them in an oppressor, which means that like a lot of their money when you leave the server, like 20% of your money goes away, right? So they don't
Yeah, but
and
now they get to grind more, so that's a benefit for them.
I no like like I really think if you were to interview like some griefers, they they hate or interview some grinders, they hate griefers.
Yeah, but don't like Minecraft players like they hate creepers or whatever?
Um hate, well, I mean, yeah, well, I don't
They're like,
think
oh, that sucks. My house got blown up, but that's part of the fun of the game. It's
yeah.
the risk because you feel more accomplished once you make it.
No, okay. Well, okay. So, do you think that the people griefing these grinders in like GTA 5 or um do you think that they uh want their victims to like um feel bad?
Um, I don't know. Probably just having fun.
I I mean, I can like uh link you some stuff if you want. Like they don't like the grind, okay. If you're going to say that, like, do you think that griefers grief people for fun, not to lower their well-being.
I don't think it matters that much.
I think it definitely matters if you're okay. So like
What's
in
the
the
symmetry breaker between the explosive guys on Minecraft and the griefers on the GTA?
oh because it well in specifically 2B2T. I don't know about other servers, but I would say that 2B2T is fine because the people joining like specifically they understand or they appreciate um the griefing in that game, and that's why they join. I don't think that
What is
grinders.
2T? I don't know what 2T is.
It's like a server in Minecraft. It's basically like anarchy server. It's popular for that
No, I'm
specific
just talking
reason
about
that it has no
single
rules.
player, single player.
Oh well, single player then yeah, I would say that's probably morally wrong.
The that they coded in the explosive guys?
Yeah, if you grief someone's like house for literally and it
No, no, no.
benefits you for no reason.
The
Well, listen,
the
I can
green
understand.
guys
I
that
can
explode your
understand.
house.
I can wait. I can understand, right? If you were to grief someone's house, that would actually that might be a lot better than like going around in an oppressor and pressing like the LB button, right, or the L1 button or whatever. So, uh,
What is
the
that? An oppressor?
yeah, it's in GTA 5 it's basically this overpowered vehicle, but basically with the blowing up a Minecraft house, right? That can be actually like funny, right? Or like entertaining to actually
Why is that
put
funny?
some TNT. Well, it's more interesting than like literally flying around in this motorcycle, and
They're both fun. They're both fun.
no, because no, listen, because like in the situation where um people actually like destroying things with TNT and stuff, right? That might be like something
All
people
right, just
actually.
wait a second. You're misinterpreting the two things, okay? It's the green guys that aren't players, the creepers. That's what I'm talking about.
the the creepers.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't. I mean, I obviously I don't
Is
think
it
the
morally
creepers.
wrong for the programmers to put that in?
Well, it depends why they're putting it in. I mean, it.
For
Creepers are
risk.
obviously
They're adding extra risk.
yes. Okay, so I don't blame the game developers for that because I don't think they're intentionally wanting to
Okay,
like
what's the
lower someone's
symmetry
well
breaker?
being.
What's the symmetry breaker?
Well, that's like not even the same situation, right? Because a griefer is a person intentionally trying to blow up someone's stuff, and a game developer is just adding things to the game to make it more like interesting for the players.
They're intentionally adding things that blow up your stuff.
Well, the the griefers are like intentionally attacking your stuff to lower your well-being. The game developers are not doing that.
The griefers might just
If
be doing it to have fun, though.
I well, I mean, we can go over that. Uh, we can go over that because I would ask a griefer, right? If they're destroying someone's house in a Minecraft, right? I would ask him, like, okay, why do you find this fun? Okay, and if they say, well, I just like blowing up stuff, like, okay, well, there's this server, right, or this seed or map or whatever you can play that has plenty of houses you can blow up, and it has
Why does
none
the
of the
griefer like
lag
to?
of a
He
normal
likes the
server.
unique experience of the multiplayer game.
Well, I mean, you could have probably mods, right, that have
No, he likes the unique experience, just like the GTA
well,
guy who
yeah, but
doesn't want his
what
stuff
about that
griefed.
unique experience? Are you talking about like different types of buildings that could be made or whatever that could be
Different,
destroyed?
maybe his friends are on that one. Maybe his friends are on that one.
Well, if you're griefing your friends, right? That's not going to
No,
be
no,
bad
no, no. His
because you
friends
weren't
are griefing with him.
okay. Well, he could invite his friends to the server, and they could grief.
No, they don't know how to join a different one.
They don't know how to. Okay, so no, but if no, I'll ask him, right? Hypothetically, if your friends were able to join this server where there's these like random buildings being created by like AIs and they're all
No,
over the
it's not
map.
fun.
How yeah, so why is that not fun? That's why what I'm
The
asking.
knowledge that you're playing alone or just with your friends it just makes it worse.
Yes, yes, exactly. So they like when
No, it's not about
there's
lowering
real
your
life
well-being.
people. Yes.
Yeah, he just likes being with other people. That's it.
Yeah, well, he's with his friends and they're griefing this map. I
No, 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 with random people. His friends are boring.
So okay, so he's he values being with random people in a
Yeah,
server. Okay, so I don't know why
well,
he's specifically blowing up their stuff then. He could just,
because
like
that's fun.
live.
That's the most fun thing to do in the
Oh yeah,
game.
so like, but he doesn't like blowing up, houses and servers where there's no people. So why does he
Yes,
like
he does. Yes, he does.
so okay, wait. So if I were
But
to
he
give
doesn't
him
like it as much. He doesn't like it as much because there's not random people there. It's the unique experience.
yeah, so he values being around other people. And if he
Yes.
values but he also values exploding people's stuff. So he would at least somewhat
Yeah.
value destroying stuff that doesn't have people in it or
Yeah.
whatever, right? So if I were to send him a link to like, you know, uh,
But it's not as fun.
it's not. Yes, but
It's
he
just
would
like the
have to.
guy who's
No,
grinding
but
and
I think the
he doesn't
situation's
want to go
like
on a single player because he doesn't get the 2% boost or whatever.
no, but I think the situation is like
It's the
not
same thing.
realistic because if I were to give a griefer, right, a server or a map or mod link, right, that had no people in it, okay, but it had like random buildings, I don't think he would even be a little bit um happy or whatever blowing up that stuff. That would be extremely boring to him,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. So
Yes. So
that's just
the only
making my
like
argument for me.
the yeah no. So the only reason why he likes destroying people's stuff is because those are real life people with well-being that he likes to lower, right? If he doesn't like
Why do you think
destroying
it's because it's the well-being thing? Why can't it just be he likes
because
blowing
if
up
it
real people's stuff?
well because be, well because it's specifically real people. Like I don't know what other reason he could give for that. Like if he
That's the
if
reason that it's real
it
people. That's it.
yeah, it's real
Okay,
people
I
and
know this is a free-flowing
what why
conversation, but I need the argument that it's to lower suffering.
I'm not no. Okay, so listen, if you're gonna, what other reason other than lowering well-being would someone enjoy from specifically destroying like real life people's stuff? If I were to go up to like a grandma, right, punch her in the face, okay, for like no, I would have no incentive for doing that, and I would specifically want to punch like a grandma's face, not like a mannequin's face or anything. Um, why would I do that?
Because you like punching real people.
Yeah, but more specifically,
Do
I
you ever play
like the
Mario Kart
suffering that I
or
I
any
don't play
racing
Mario.
games?
No.
All right, well, it's much more fun to race against real people than the bots, even though they're basically identical except for that they're real.
Yeah, yeah, but that's
But it's not because
that's
you like to
different
lower
because
their
you're
well-being by beating
no,
them.
yeah, that's different because you're competing with like real life people and you want to, be more skilled at the game than them. Or you aren't being more skilled at the game by like blowing up someone's house in
Why
Minecraft
not? You're
or
being more
destroying
skilled
someone's car.
at blowing up their house
No, because
without them
that
giving you
person's
boost.
respecting your rights. That person isn't blowing up your stuff, and it's not like, scored anywhere that anyone's like how much stuff people exploded.
It's scored in your head.
What it's not
You
no
have more
because
fun when you
the other
successfully accomplish that.
yeah you successfully accomplish it, but why? Like you understand?
Why can't it
Well,
just be
I
fun?
don't. Again, like I don't see why someone would value being destroying people's real life, destroying a real person's. Like if someone were okay, if someone were to destroy like a building, and then they're and like two buildings. First building they destroy, then someone tells them, "Oh, that was actually an AI." They go, "Damn it!" Right? And then they destroy like the second person's building. It's like, "Oh, that's a real person I destroyed." Um, I don't see, like, yay, that's good. I don't see why it wouldn't be well being that they would be happy in like the second part.
Sorry, I got cut out. Just say that again.
So yeah, so if there's like two houses, right? and a griefer were to destroy one house, okay, and that were to be like an AI living in that house, and then they found out it was an AI and they got like upset or whatever, or they didn't want to destroy um, those buildings with AIs in it. And then there was a building with like a real person, right, in real life, who made this house, who spent hours, and then they destroy that house and they get satisfaction from destroying that house with a real person in it. I don't like what other reason could you possibly give other than like, yeah, it's a real person with a will to live or not a well-being, and I lower their well-being by doing that. Like I just
I don't
saying
see
it's a
why you
real
need to know the
person is
reason.
like
You know that doing
circular.
things with other people is more fun than doing it with AI. Just seems like it's always the case.
What? But why? Like, what if you had an AI that acted just like a real person,
It would be
right?
boring.
And
It
that
would just be
and then the
boring.
griefer didn't want to destroy that AI who acted like just like a real life person, except for that AI didn't have well being.
It's
But
not about
like,
the
we could
behavior.
literally make
That's
a
why I brought up the
completely.
Mario Kart. It's just
It's
about that you know that they're real
no,
people.
n- no, okay. Because if you that's I don't even think that's true because if you had an AI that acted exactly like human beings, but it didn't have like well being, like I think people would be perfectly fine playing Mario Kart with those
No, I mean, I don't
people.
even notice the difference between the AI and the real people, but I still like playing against the real people.
The only difference would be the well being. That's it.
No, it's
So
that they're a real person.
it would be like
That
it
is the
could in
difference.
fact we don't even need an AI. It could be just like a real life person who doesn't get upset. Like we could who
Yeah,
doesn't get upset at losing and doesn't get happy when they win, right? There's just like the same amount of well being no matter what you do,
it would
right?
still be more fun against them than the AI.
But no. Well, no, okay, so
Yes, it
wait.
would.
We're not talking about AI. I'm just talking about okay, we have a group of humans, okay, playing a video game that
Okay.
you're playing a video game with. Both groups, well, we have two groups. The first they're the exact same except for one group will get like happy or get sad when they lose or win, right? If someone wanted to play Mario Kart with like a group of people that will get sad if they lose and they want to like beat those people instead of just playing with the first group, um I think that's really weird. Like if I'm playing Mario Kart, right? If
Why
I'm
would
playing
they
a
have
video,
a? I'm saying they wouldn't have a preference.
they yeah, okay, so yeah, they shouldn't have a preference. But if you did have a
Okay.
preference, then you understand that it would be like because of the well-being, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I think griefers would do. If you
But
go
they
up to
don't
a
have
griefer,
griefers don't have the option to attack
well,
people that they know
no,
have no
no, they don't.
emotions.
But if you could give them the hypothetical, right? They wouldn't want to like
What's the evidence
bite the
for that?
bull on it.
What's the evidence
So
for that?
if I were to go up to like Excel's number one tryhard, and I were to say, okay, listen, there's this server. It has AIs, but don't worry, the AIs or are wait, no, not even AIs. We aren't talking about AIs. Just the real people. These are real people, but they don't care. They don't get upset. They don't get happy whenever they're griefed or not griefed. Okay, their well-being stays the same. Would you want to play on that server and destroy people's stuff, even though no matter what you do, they will not be upset by whatever you do? Right? Would you want to play on that server and destroy people's cargo, just like you're destroying people's cargo, um, like right now, and people
Is their
are caring
behavior the
about it?
same?
Huh?
Do they behave the same way as the?
Yes, they behave the exact same way, except for the well-being is just
All
like
right. Well, show me the
flatline.
evidence that they would say no.
Well, I okay. I think the evidence is in their YouTube video. We can link some stuff. So it's basically like
On a YouTube
uh,
video, I need like a study.
I don't have a study on this. What the heck?
Some
I
random YouTube video? That's not good evidence.
no. I mean, well, okay. So there's a video right of this guy Excel's number one tryhard. I can link it. I'm on push to talk right now, but um, basically there's this like newbie who joins the server. Right, he's like low level, and then this guy he gets in a laser and he starts like spawn killing him over and over and over again until he gets to like 300 kills, and then the guy like leaves. Okay, um, I don't know. I don't think that's a
No, that's
very
not in the spirit of time.
interesting. Like I don't know why. what other reason he could give other than the well-being thing? Like, why would you value that experience other
I don't
than
know.
like
It's
it
not in the
made the
spirit of
person
fun. So
upset? Like, you're literally just spawn killing them over and over in a laser. Like,
that's the bad kind of
what do you
creeping.
think it was? What do you think he was doing when he was spawn killing him? Like, what do you think
Being an
was going through
evil
his mind at least?
loves causing suffering.
Yes, he he likes causing suffering. So if that person had like no, if that person was literally just like um not a robot, he was a real human,
I
but
don't
he had
condone that.
like
I don't condone that kind of behavior.
yes. And that's like literally 99% of, well, I wouldn't say 99, but I would say like 75% of griefers in GTA 5. Like
Where'd you get that statistic?
I I get that statistic from intuition, okay? From watching all
All
the
right,
YouTube
well, I
videos of
don't
all the
trust your
griefers and
intuition on
uh,
this. You're
I mean,
biased. And
I can show you these griefer communities and I can show you what they on Reddit and everything. Like these are massive. These are not
do they have
I'm on push to
statistics of
I'm on
how they
push to
grieve?
I'm on push to talk right now, but I can show you.
Okay, let me just ask you, okay? The griefing that
Yeah.
I talked about, where it's in the spirit of fun, is that wrong?
Um it depends on why you're having uh what
You
you
just have
consider
fun
fun.
blowing up people's stuff.
It's it's not, in my opinion, it's not fun like just blowing up stuff. Okay. Now,
Them, it's fun.
someone
For
might
them, it's fun.
find it fun to blow up someone's stuff to make them like feel certain ways, right?
No, no, not to make them feel a certain way, just for fun.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that's fun. If there was a server, right, where there was like a bunch of
It's fun for them. I'm talking about for them,
for the people being getting their stuff blown up.
for the griefer.
uh, yeah, and the reason why I think they're having fun is because they're lowering well-being.
I'm talking about people who just do it for fun and no other reason.
Yeah, so again, these people would have to bite
And
the
the
bullet
reason that they
on
have
that.
fun is not because they're lowering the well-being.
Yes, so again, I would just ask them, okay, there is a server, right? It has a bunch of people in it, just like any other server. These are real life people. However, their well-being is completely like stationary. So they never get happy and they never get sad, right? But they behave like other than that, they behave the exact same ways. Would it be fun to go to that server and blow up their stuff? Like
Seems
literally
like the
nothing,
answer to that
nothing you could
hinges on
do
whether they
could
like
make them
lowering
sad.
people's well-being.
Huh?
Even if they say no, that wouldn't be as fun. That doesn't mean they like lowering people's well-being.
Yes, it does, because that's the
They
only
think
thing
it
that's
raises
different about the
people's well-being.
situation, about the two contexts. What'd be different?
What?
That's the only thing that would be different about those two contexts. They would
No, the
behave the
difference is that
exact.
they have the capacity for well-being and suffering, but it's not that they like lowering it. It's just that they know that they have that capacity.
Why would they want to have be around people for their capacity of well-being, but not like be concerned about their about lowering it? If they're blowing up someone, if you're
I
like,
don't know.
okay,
It's
well,
just a
listen,
human nature.
I want to, do you think like a serial killer or something would, want to torture someone who's like, who has their
I don't see how this is relevant.
okay, listen, all right. So say I'm a serial killer, right? And there's a
Okay.
human being, okay? There's like two humans. Okay, one human has well-being. It can be happy, it can be sad, it can feel pain. Another human being, they what's the word? They behave the exact same way. But one human has well-being and one human doesn't. Okay. And then if I were a serial killer and I was like, hey, listen, man, can I torture the one that has well-being? It's like, listen, I just like torturing people that have the capacity for
That's
well-being.
implausible. That's
I
implausible.
don't care about lowering someone's well-being. I don't care about that. I just care about that they have the capacity. It's like, what? No,
No,
you
that's
want,
silly.
I don't understand. What did you say?
That would be silly.
That would be silly, yeah. So I don't know why, like, you're bringing up that they might just like the capacity um,
That's
of
my
that.
own experience.
Well,
Not
what's
with
your
torturing someone, but with just with like I like being around people who have emotions. But I don't want to lower their well-being just because I like the emotional
yes, but
aspects of it.
yeah, but specifically if you're doing things, right? If you're destroying like stuff that they value, right? Then in that context, or let's say you aren't destroying stuff they value. Let's say you're like you help them build something, okay? Right? Then you would be happy, right? Because their well-being is going up, right? So I don't see why it would be different for like if you're destroying their stuff, then you would be happy that their well-being is going down. If you want to be around people that have the
You're not
capacity,
happy that their well-being. You're not happy that their well-being is going down. You just like doing it.
you're just I don't know why you're just I don't know why you would want that.
I told you why.
Well, yeah, because they have the capacity to
No,
um
no, that's just a possible explanation. But I'm just saying it's just because it's fun. Gives you a feeling of joy.
yeah, it gives you a feeling of joy, but
There could be
why?
any number of reasons why it gives you the feeling.
Yes, I know that, but they would have to bite the bullet on like if you were to give any specific reason other than well-being, then they would have to bite the bullet on like um being in a server where someone has,
That's not
you
a
know,
very hard bullet to bite, but
that
even if
is
that's not
very.
why,
Do you
they don't
think
have to bite that bullet.
they okay, so again, I don't know why you're using capacity and well-being as like an actual reason for wanting
It's
to
my
be
own
around the
experience.
person
That's
other
why.
than Uh, no, okay, so all right, so have you like blown up anyone's houses in Minecraft? Okay, so why did you like that,
Fun.
doing that? Why did you find it fun?
I don't know my I don't know my own psychology.
Well, is it because they have the is one of the reasons because these people have the capacity of well-being?
I think I definitely wouldn't have as much fun if they didn't have the capacity for well-being.
Yes. So if we can like do a little bit of investigating, right? We can understand what like the capacity of well-being means, right? If someone is just not, if someone isn't like a robot and they can get sad or happy, and then therefore you value that they can be sad or happy, and then using that information you go ahead and blow up something that they value.
I think overall it makes them happier. It also makes me happier, and it's not that I enjoy lowering the well-being, but it's just um, I like playing with emotional, real people.
God, my push to talk was being weird. um yeah, so if you want to make the argument that like grieving people will actually do good to society or something, then um, I don't. Again, we could give you a situation where it just completely like doesn't. We can give a grief for a situation, right? Okay, if you blow up this kid's house, right, he will continue playing Minecraft the same amount of time in the day, right? He's gonna continue his same activities, behaviors in real life, right? Um, uh, would you still destroy this person's house? And they would. Like I mean, they would have to bite the bullet that, no, I wouldn't. I only want to destroy people's houses to get them like to stop playing, so they can like be more productive or something. They
See,
would have to
that's not
bite
what
the
I'm
bullet on
talking
it.
about. I'm not talking about being more productive.
Yeah. So, but
This
that's one of the
increases
things
the
you.
overall fun of the game.
Oh, okay. So let's say you know, right, that someone has worked on this Minecraft house, um, and they will be like extremely sad. Like let's say they worked on it for because you understand, right? Like people have worked on buildings for like hours and hours, like 8 hours a day, every freaking day. Like there's people who do that, and then if you go and destroy that building, and you know that this person will not be in the least bit like happy or make it or it wasn't the possibility of you destroying their stuff wasn't like a factor in them making it, um then you would have to bite the bullet and say that you would not destroy that building, which I guarantee most griefers would not
Why would I
bite the
have to
bullet
do
on that,
that?
because you were saying it would increase their well-being overall. That's one of the reasons
Not
why you were
theirs,
doing
just
it.
overall the entire game, everybody in the game.
Every, yeah, well, why are you that's really weird. So like if okay, so if we have a situation, right, where like doing X um uh increases well-being overall in like a group of people, and then there's one person you specifically know doing X to will not increase their well-being. Like it seems really weird to do X to that person, knowing that knowledge and just saying like, oh well, the majority of people like X when I do it to them, but it's just this person doesn't, but like the majority of
It's
people
not
do.
because the majority of people like having it done. It's doing it to anybody increases the overall fun of the game.
No, but I mean, do you not acknowledge that there are like serious people who spend like uh like 20 hours, building this like giant mansion, and that they value this like a grandma would value her painting or something like that.
I acknowledge that.
Yeah, so I don't know why that person's individual well-being would go up from you blowing up their house. Then I think it would go down.
I
Like,
didn't say it would go up.
well, if that's one of the reasons for you doing it.
If they're the only person in the entire game, then you probably shouldn't do that.
um well, okay, so there's other people in the game, but you know that this specific person will have their well-being like lowered, like from you doing this. Would you want to do that to that person?
I don't see how that's relevant to whether it's okay.
Because you're saying other people in the game would not if that was the other only person in the game. So I'm just saying if there were other people in the game who,
Seems fine.
yeah, but to do it to that specific specific person who won't have their well-being um raised, it'll have it lowered.
Yeah.
Like that just doesn't seem like, if you're gonna say that uh okay, there's a server with like one person and he doesn't like X, right? So you when you do X and that's the thing. Um Doing X is like doing something to a specific person, right? So like punching them or like giving them a high five or just whatever you want for X, okay? Now, if there's
Depends
a
on what
person,
X is then.
well, yeah, we're just arguing like it could be anything. We're just seeing if it would lower or um increase well-being. So there's one person who uh there's one person who doesn't like X, okay? And then you say, well, I'm not going to do X to this specific person who doesn't want X to be done to them because it'll lower their well-being. But if there were other people in the server, um, and that if they liked X, then I would do it to this specific person that still doesn't want X to be done to them. That just that like
Depends on. I mean, depends on what X is. If I'd say it's
no,
okay.
but if X could be anything. X could be like a
Well, I
high
don't know
five.
then.
If you're like, oh yeah, man, like most people like it when I give them a high five.
It's
There's one
not that
person
most
in my
people
class
like
that
it. That's
doesn't.
not the. But
Yeah.
high five is a good analogy.
What? Well, what would be a good analogy for X then?
You can't just say generally any action. I'm not going to agree that every action
Well,
is
high
okay.
five is even less worse than like destroying someone's property that they love. Like let's just say there's a kid who just doesn't like high fives in your class, but the majority of people like high fives, and you intentionally give the kid who doesn't want a high five, what
That's bad.
because the
That's
majority of the
wrong.
people in the class, yeah, that would be wrong. So I don't think
Yeah.
the majority of someone wanting
But if
to
they
be
were in
rude.
like a high five like club, then that would be fine.
Yeah, but if there were okay, so if there was there would be unique benefit. There would have to be unique benefits for that person to have their well-being lowered. Like so, okay, let's say there's a kid, right? He doesn't like high fives. It would make and there was a club and it was just about high fives. It would make literally no sense for that kid to join
Well, maybe there's
high
like a
high
cookie
five
he
club.
really
You
likes there. There's a
yeah,
cookie that he loves.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But you understand, right? If there were no cookies, if there were no other benefits, if it was just a high five club, it would be like uh extremely rare for someone to just join that
That would be
if they
weird.
hate high fives, right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so there would have to be other benefits, right? Like cookies or something like that, right? So
Hmm.
like I'm arguing that there's other benefits to playing GTA 5, right? There's like you
Yeah,
can
and they
purchase
accept the
vehicles and
risk.
stuff like that. Yeah, and they accept the risk, right? But I don't think that's justification, right? If you join a high five club for the cookies and there's no incentive for giving people high fives and there's no it's not negative for people in the
The
high five club
incentive
because
is fun.
that example sounds a little bit ridiculous, right? Because why would you join a high five club just for the cookies? But let's say there's an unlimited amount of space in the high five club, and there's an unlimited amount of cookies, or maybe well, not unlimited. Let's just say it's a big map, huge map, right? Um, and there's like an unlimited amount of cookies. Okay, he's literally bothering no one. Why would you come up to him and give him a high five when he doesn't want a high five, even though he signed the contract stating that anyone can give him a high five?
Okay, look, I can say that that's wrong without saying that griefing is morally wrong
Well,
in general. I don't even know if that's wrong or not, but I don't see how that's even relevant to the debate proposition.
what? So yeah, so I think that I don't think you I don't know if you're like I think we might just disagree on the griefers' intentions or whatever. Like they're in
Because they
GTA
have
5.
specific intentions.
Yes, so in GTA 5, it's a giant map, right? There's literally now there is an incentive, but this incentive they don't do it for. It's $2,000 and these people have glitched money, right? So they do not do it
Hmm.
for the money. They make jokes about it all. I can show you if you want, I can show you. They have like hundreds of millions of dollars. They have everything in the game purchased and they get like $2,000 for doing it. Okay. You don't get like um any special like achievement or anything like that. You literally just go, you take an oppressor, right? There's someone delivering supplies and you fly over to them, right? To blow up their stuff. They're bought like yes, they signed the contract. They knew that someone could do this to them, but they still don't want their stuff to be grieved. That's not why they play the game. They play the game for the like cookies, right? For
But the cookies,
the
but
money.
they like the cookies, right? Because they like them more because they successfully got a cookie without getting a high five. Otherwise, they would just
Um
go to another slightly worse cookie.
I mean, I could see that happening. Um, I just I don't think it's happening in the majority of cases. And even if that was happening, the griefer wouldn't care. The griefer would if they would have to bite the bullet on that. They would have to go like,
I
okay,
don't care about the griefer's intentions that much.
well, if the griefer's intention were to like make some kid commit suicide or something by griefing, if there was a kid who was like about to commit suicide and if he didn't get this thing, I think it would definitely matter the
It would definitely be wrong.
intention of the you wouldn't care about like the intentions of the griefer in that situation.
Well, I would care about what he's doing is making somebody commit suicide.
Well,
I
let's
would
say
think he's a bad
let's say
person.
you don't think that if there was like let's say he doesn't even commit suicide, right? But let's say he gets like a message from one of his buddies and he says like, okay, there's this kid who wants to commit suicide if someone griefs his stuff and he will commit suicide. But let's say
That
it's
would
like
be
a dummy
wrong
or
if he did
something and he
that.
won't. Yeah. So it does matter a little bit what their intentions are. It just
It's
to
more about
me
the knowledge.
it's more about the knowledge of what.
Yeah, about what's gonna happen.
Um yeah, like their well-being is going to be lowered and they don't get satisfaction from getting the money without being griefed, just like the person in the high five club doesn't get the satisfaction from eating the cookies and not getting high fived, right? Like we can have two people, and if the griefer, if there was someone who doesn't get satisfaction from not being high fived and getting the cookies, right? They just want the cookies. Then the griefer would have to be okay with destroying, or the griefer would have to be yeah, the griefer would have to be okay with destroying both of those people.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes. If you're gonna say if you're gonna say the reason why it's because it's okay to grief someone's stuff is because they would be satisfied. Um,
No, that's just one of the reasons.
yeah, it's one of the reasons. We can get like a whole collection of reasons. That I just don't think that specific reason would be good if you aren't gonna bite the bullet on that.
I think if the overall well-being of the club is increased by having the high fivers around, then that's fine to high five.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You can say
you
like
can
high fiving that specific guy is because you
it
know he's gonna suffer
yes.
more is wrong, but that doesn't mean the griefing overall, the high fiving overall is wrong.
Well, because in that situation, the grief it's not completely like analogous because griefers aren't really doing anything to like raise well being for the other players
They
at
are.
all. No, what in like what ways?
They're increasing the risk, which makes it more satisfying to get to some high level without.
Yeah,
Listen, I still haven't heard a satisfying answer between the symmetry breaker between the green creeper guys and the griefers.
yeah. So okay, so um in that example, right? So it's a game developer, right, making a creeper to uh make the game more entertaining, right? Versus a griefer is like specifically hunting for a specific thing that someone values and destroying that specific thing for a specific reason. And that
What if
specific
it's
reason is
to what
destroying
if
well-being.
it's to increase the fun of the game?
Yeah, so griefers can say that, and that's what we can argue about. And I do
Okay, so
not
is that
think
morally
that
wrong though?
if they're doing it to um, increase like the fun of the game and they think that it'll be satisfying for like both parties, then sure. But I
No, no, they don't think it'll be satisfying for the people getting griefed in the moment that they're griefed. Just like the developer knows that it's probably
well
going to
in the
be upset if
moment
you get your house blown up.
in the moment, but if they're arguing that it's a fun thing, then I guess they're like, oh well, the reason why this person joined the game is because of people like me, right? And so that's why they destroy their stuff. Then I would be like, oh, okay, well that makes more sense. But then
So is
again,
that morally
they
wrong?
would have to bite the bullet on like they would play the game no matter what, right? And they would just be sad no matter what. If someone were to destroy their stuff, they would be sad. If someone didn't destroy their stuff, they wouldn't be like happy or anything like that.
What?
Or they wouldn't care about the risk or associated.
The griefer doesn't know that. But if they did, then yeah, it would be wrong to
Yes,
go after
but I
that
don't think they
person
would
person
bite the bullet. I
specifically.
don't think I. That's like a hypothetical you can give them. I don't think they would bite the bullet on that hypothetical.
Well, I don't see why that matters. You're saying griefing in general is wrong. I'm talking about this specific kind of griefing.
Well, because I think the majority of griefing is the majority of griefers. If you were to ask them, they wouldn't want to bite the bullet on this, just because their culture and
You
the
have a
way
good
they.
reason to believe that.
Well, because their culture, the way they talk about things, the way they joke about things, it's it's all about like the people that they're destroying. They don't make computations, right? Like destroying an AI's stuff, and it's just the reasons why they would
It's not as fun.
yes, because it's not as fun. But like I don't, it's not as I don't understand the specific reason why it would be fun to
Maybe
just
that's just the irreducible reason.
yeah, it's the irreducible reason. But like you can be realistic about um I don't think that's a reasonable like line to draw at it.
It's my own experience.
Irreducible reason. Yeah, but like you don't think there's anything about someone having a well-being that made you interested in destroying their stuff. It's just the fact that they had a well-being, not the fact that you're like lowering their well-being or anything. That's what I'm getting at. I don't think it's like an irreducible reason.
I don't think I like destroying their well-being.
Yes, but you like the fact that they have well-being, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about so I mean we can just put, 1 plus 1, and either you're doing it to raise their well-being or you're doing it to lower their well-being.
I'm doing it to raise my well-being
Yes, but you're concerned about them having well-being, which I'm concerned about why you're concerned about
because
why
it's
they
just
have well-being.
boring to do it with non-sentient creatures.
Yeah, yes, but why? Or it doesn't have to be
There's no
non-sentient. It could
further
be it.
reason.
No, it could be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like sentient. It could be just they could both be sentient, but one group has same well-being and the other
Yeah,
group has
emotional and
yes,
sentient.
yes. So I mean, if you want to stop me like, well, that's my irreducible reason, then that's fine. But like, it just sounds a little bit ridiculous. Like again, with the serial killer example, like I could be a serial killer and I could be concerned about my torture kidnappee, right? That I'm torturing, if they can feel sad or
That's
happy.
wrong.
If yes, so they would have to, but you would have to like, but
I don't think the serial killer or the serial killer um, in general, I don't think society's better
well,
because of the existence of serial killers.
yes, but I'm not, I'm just arguing. I think it would be ridiculous to go, oh, well, I don't care about lowering my victim's well being. I just care that they have a well being. I think I think it's
I
because
don't
you
think
do
that
you
that
do you under because like do you think I'm just do you think it would be ridiculous for not morally wrong or anything like that? Do you think it would be a ridiculous if we were to have two people, one person had no well-being or they had just stationary well-being, they weren't upset or happy at all, nothing you could do would change that, and then another person that had sadness, could experience happiness, and then the serial killer wants to torture the person who could feel sad, and then they just say, "Oh well, it's because they have the capacity." But I'm not interested in actually, you know, like making them sad while torturing them. I'm just interested in the fact that they can be sad. It's like, whoa, dude, like come like do you think that I'm not saying you don't have to answer if it's morally wrong because I know murdering someone, torturing someone's morally wrong, and it has bigger moral consequences than grieving. I understand that, but uh, do you think it would just be a ridiculous reason to give the fact that they have well-being, but oh no, that's the
by
irreducible
ridiculous,
reason.
do you
It's not
mean
that they
I think
can.
they're lying?
Yeah, do you think they're lying?
I don't know. I don't see why I would think they're lying.
Well, that's it. Because it's like, oh yes, this person has well-being. It can be lowered. I like that.
It's just more
Well,
interesting to interact with people who are have emotions.
Well, well, I mean, you could have a yeah, but as a serial killer, right? You don't have to torture someone. You don't have to cut off someone's toes, right? You could like have a conversation with someone you kidnap, but they don't want to do that. They want to like do things to that person
Yeah,
that
but
that
that's the
person
more
values of
specific
their
things
body.
that they enjoy doing.
Well, yeah, they enjoy doing it, but again, why? Like they enjoy doing okay,
They
here's
just
what they
like
enjoy.
that thing.
They if you're gonna say it's irreducible reason, it just doesn't. They enjoy like taking a knife or whatever and cutting um like their victim's calves off, right? That's cutting the victim's calves off. That's doing something to the victim that they value, right? Like you value your calf muscles, okay? So if someone were to do that to you, you want to be happy about that, and there would be pain associated with getting your calves cut out, and I would wonder why instead of helping this person or instead of chatting with this person, why do you want to remove something that this person values and inflict pain on them? and then we can talk, and then we can be like, it's
Well,
just
I'm sure they would still enjoy it if they didn't have that value, but they just enjoy it more when it's with someone who has emotions, just like the
wait,
griefer.
so but they don't, okay, but they don't do it to lower their well-being. They just care about the person.
Just I'm saying anything with other people, like fake, like AI or real people, it's just more fun if you know they have emotions and they're sentient. Like anything, not just things that lower their well-being, raise their well-being. Just that knowledge is more makes it more fun.
I I I feel like
Maybe it's just like an evolutionary thing where you know, like if you're a social creature, you know what I mean?
no, but I still think it's pretty obvious, right? Why you want this person to have emotion. You don't want to just, it's not the irreducible reason of them having emotion, right? Like serial killers, they like um uh the pain that their victims feel. They want their victims to feel like horrible and have their well-being lowered.
Yeah, probably.
And because we can investigate this, we can just ask a serial killer, okay, why do you kill people? Oh, well, I
I'm
just
not
like.
making the argument that most serial killers are like griefers, that they just want to make the world more
But
risky or
but
something.
do you agree that serial killers want to lower well-being?
Yes.
Yes. So I think it would, I mean, we could ask them the same questions I asked you, and then they could say, well, oh, it's just an irreducible um, fact that my I want my victims to have well-being. It's not specific to them,
Yeah, I
to
didn't,
me lowering
why
them.
would you
They
think
could
they're
do like,
lying about it?
what, why do I think? Because I think it's like 1 plus 1 equals 2. You're doing something to
I don't
someone that
see
they
what
value.
math has to do with it.
Okay, so okay, listen. So if someone values, right, their legs, okay, and they want to keep their legs, okay, and then you chop off their legs, and in combination, you
Well, if
want
they
this
just say, I
person to be
love chopping
able.
off legs,
Well, yeah, yeah. So again, so I would give them like, okay, listen, here is
but I
a.
also like it more when I know they're emotional and sentient,
Yeah,
whatever.
yes, exactly, right? They're
Like, how
emotional
does
and
that mean
sensitive.
that they want to lower their well-being? Maybe they just love
Because
doing chopping off legs.
it's something the person values. Their legs, they value their legs, and it
Well,
like
that's not the part that makes it more fun.
I don't listen. I don't think you need to be like a freaking psychologist or something to understand that if someone values something and take you take that thing that they value away from them, and you, in combination, you want them to be able to feel sad or happy. I don't know I don't know why it wouldn't be like necessary kind of that you want them to feel sad from taking away something they value.
All right,
I
do you agree that just like things in general are more fun when they're with other people?
yes, but that's for other reasons. That's because I like, maybe communicating with people, or I like the unique game style or game plays of people, right? I like, yeah, that's
Why do you post your gameplay videos on YouTube?
Um, I post my gameplay videos on YouTube, right? Because I want to show off well, I do a lot of attacking griefer videos. So I like lowering griefers' well being. Okay. I think that's
Yeah.
justified. And then because they're lowering other people's well being. Now, and I like posting
But
videos of me
the reason it's
sniping.
fun is because you know other people are watching it, right?
Yes. Right. And
But
other
if you
people
found out that all the views on your
I don't,
videos and
yes,
comments were
but
just AI, you'd be like, oh,
yes,
this
yes.
isn't as fun.
Yes, but the thing is, right? We can do the math, or we can just use simple reasoning, right? So if someone were to watch my video, right, and they were to be sad from watching my video, they were like, be depressed or whatever. I wouldn't want them to watch my video. I only want people to watch my video and to feel entertained by my content, right? I don't like
Okay, but it would still be more fun to have
if I.
some real person, even if they're sad, to watch your video, even if, instead of like an AI.
Well, I wouldn't want people to be sad from watching my videos. No, I wouldn't want people's well-being to be
They
lowered.
don't want people to be sad from grieving, but they just enjoy that they're like if you know somebody was emotionless, right, and they watched your video, you'd probably be like, this is just kind of boring.
Yeah,
Like they don't have any capacity for emotions. Like who cares? But it's not that you want them to be able to be sad. It's just like you want them to
No, because
lower
I
their
no, because
well-being.
I could bite the bullet, right? I could say, okay, let's say there's someone who watches my video who gets like depressed or whatever, and every single video I upload, they watch it and they get sadder and sadder. Their
Yeah, but
life is just pathetic.
listen, if the griefer, I would say probably if the griefer keeps doing it and they know all that stuff about the person, then they're probably, being evil.
Yes.
But just
So
because they want them to
yes.
be able to have the capacity doesn't mean they want to lower their well-being, even if they know
Well,
it's lowered somewhat.
no,
That's
but
balanced out by the risky factor
yeah,
I
yeah.
mentioned earlier.
Well, yeah. So like with my YouTube videos, right? If someone doesn't value watching my YouTube videos and they actually value, well, let's phrase it different. They value not watching my videos, and then someone watches my videos, uh, and then wait, if okay, so if okay, let me rephrase this. If someone values not watching my videos, okay, and then they also have a capacity for well-being, or actually, they don't have a capacity. Wait, no, let me rephrase that. Okay, final. Okay, so if there's someone who values not watching my videos, okay, there's two people who value not watching my videos. One person is wait, okay, no. Hold on. Um, okay, so there's someone who values not watching my videos. Why would I want to make them watch my videos and also be concerned about their like them having well-being? That's just like another that's like just with the serial killer thing. That's one
No,
plus
it's different
I'm
because are your videos bringing a net benefit to the overall YouTube community?
I would say so, yeah. If people want to watch griefers get, you know,
Okay, and
destroyed, or
let's
people
say
want to watch sniper
you don't
montages,
know that
I mean, we
people.
can we can watch my content. There's people who value watching some of the stuff I produce, right?
Okay, there you go. And then some people, that some people who watch them are gonna have a negative reaction, but you don't know
Yes, but
who.
I don't want them to watch my videos if they're gonna
Yeah,
have a
but you
negative
don't
reaction.
know if who's gonna see it, right? So it's still
Well,
okay for you
yes, but
because on the
that's not
net.
analogous with griefing because you're specifically going at a after a person who you know doesn't
No,
want.
no, 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 no.
If I
You
were
you
to
just go
shove
after
my vid,
anybody.
if I were to like go to like a kid and like show him some like torture gore videos or whatever to
That's wrong.
intentionally,
That's bad.
yes, but like
But
let's
if
say
that brought a net benefit to the overall society, overall children, right? Then that
yeah,
might not be
yeah,
bad.
okay. So if I were to like post a video online of like torture gore videos, right? Like on like some gore site, okay? That would be way different than like going in a room and then like showing people gore videos, whether they wanted to see it or not.
Well, I think the
And
fact
then
that it's
there's like
on.
there's like
That's
one.
why the in real life portion is there, because it's obviously going to be different in real life
Yeah, no, but
versus on a
it's
video
gonna be
game.
different in the game too, because in the game you're intentionally like hunting down people, right? Just like
Yeah,
I'm
but
intentionally
you're
going
bringing in
after
net
people and
benefit.
showing them it. Yeah, so
But for some people, they're going to get, upset. So
yes,
small.
okay. So do you think the majority uh of griefing will raise the well-being of like grinders?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what we should probably like talk about or something. So
Okay, but do you agree that then it would be fine?
um if someone okay, yeah, I would say yes to that, right? But it's
Okay.
still they would have to it would have to be if that's true, if they believe that if they believe that griefing raises overall well-being, and they do not know that the person they're specifically griefing doesn't want that to be grieved, then I
Okay.
would be okay
So
with them griefing.
listen, this is easy. Okay. So the griefer, presumably the intention of the griefers, it doesn't really affect their effect on well-being, right? You can
Repeat
still
that.
factor that into whether it's wrong. I'm just saying
Repeat that.
the intention of the griefers, right? If they behave the same, it's going to affect well-being the same, right?
um
So for well-being, it doesn't matter what their intention is, right?
yes.
Okay, so I'm just saying the griefers fill the same role as the explosive guys on the Minecraft server, right?
Yes, but I still value their intentions, right?
I know, I get what
So
you're
they
saying,
would
but you're saying if you said you agreed if it's the case that they overall on the net increase the well-being, right?
Yeah.
And their intention is not just to lower suffering. I mean, increase suffering.
Yeah.
Then it's okay.
Yes,
So
right. But that person would again, that person would have to bite the bullet, right? That if I were to give them a situation where a specific person they're about to grief would not be okay with them being griefed, then they would have to bite the bullet and go, "Oh, okay, I'll just leave that kid alone. Maybe go to
no, no,
another
it
server,
would
grief
have
some
to
other
be
people."
significantly like it couldn't just
Significant.
be like, oh, they're a little bit upset,
Well,
right?
it would have to be all it would have to be is enough where it wouldn't raise their well-being and it would, in fact, lower their well-being. That's all it would have to be, right?
But what if they
If
get
they're concerned with raising well-being and I say, "Oh, this is not raising well-being. This is lowering well-being." Stop, don't grief this kid. Go to another session. There might be other people who want to be griefed or whatever.
okay, but
Will you not
listen,
grief this kid?
what if the kid, right? He
Yeah.
had even though the griefing action it might lower well-being, the existence of the griefer, right?
Yeah.
Before they got griefed, it increased their like satisfaction with the game. Then overall in the net, that kid is going to be happier overall, right?
Yeah. So so again, I would say I would just give the hypothetical that their net well-being would never increase from you griefing them, right? And that they would actually be sad for like the rest of their lives. Would you
Okay,
grief this kid?
that's too significant of a downside.
Yeah. So like let's say actually we don't even have to say the rest of their lives. They could just be sad for that moment and then the rest of their lives would be like normal. Like it what you did wouldn't affect the rest of their
But what
lives.
about
But for that
previous to
time
the
period,
grief, right? Previous.
uh,
Then the griefer overall increased their well-being.
repeat that.
Like previous to the griefing action, right? Their existence of the griefer, knowing that they could come and
Oh,
grief them, increased their
yes.
well-being.
Yes. So I would add that to the hypothetical. I would say that this person didn't join because they like
Okay.
want
Okay.
the risk of being griefed. Would they would you admit, right, that they would have to bite the bullet on that, right?
Well, yeah, with a little bit of refining what you just said, then I would probably agree. Okay. But
Yes. I don't think I mean we can look at XL's X number one tryhard and like
why is
the
this one
amazing
guy?
CJ's
Why is this
video.
one guy gonna be,
Well,
representative of every single?
well, he's because I mean he's very popular and he's he has like a lot of people in the comments agreeing with him and we have not only him but other griefers like the amazing CJ and like a bunch of others. I don't even remember the names, but I can link you all these like YouTube channels, right? Um, where they
Well, you'd
like
have to
they
show
I
those.
can
Like,
I can't send it in Discord, but I can make a YouTube video about it. There's literally a Reddit video of them like it was really cringy of them like with this giant there's like this evil theme attack on griefers or attack on grinders and like griefers are kings and grinders suck or whatever. Like I can show you these videos to show that they do not care about increasing overall well-being. Like trust me,
well,
like
hang on.
not even
They
a
don't
little.
have to care about increasing overall well-being. They just have to not care about decreasing it. Right?
Yes. Yeah,
They
I
could
would
they
say
could
that.
just be interested in their own fun.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So listen, what is I don't see the difference, like between the creeper. I know the intention's a difference, right? But let's
yes,
just
that
say for all the griefers whose intention is not to, decrease well-being. Do you agree that the explosive guys overall increase the well-being of the game in Minecraft?
the creepers.
Yeah.
I would say they do in like certain contexts, right? Like if you're playing like survival mode or something, you'd want the creepers to be there, the creepers, right? But if you're
Yeah.
playing like creative
So I'm
with
saying
like a
that's
20,
analogous to the server where it's not explicitly banned, right?
well,
That's like playing on non-passive mode or whatever.
yeah, yeah, but
They fill the
understand,
same
right?
role.
You understand, right? If there was like if these creepers are not as overpowered as like a human being getting TNT and like destroying their entire mansion, right? Like it's very easy to build a mansion even in like survival mode without having creepers like blow up the whole thing, right?
Um, yeah, I don't know exactly the scale of griefing possibility in GTA 5 or whatever.
Yeah, so like someone it yeah, so see AIs or whatever, right? Like do not they're not that much of a threat at all when you're delivering cargo. In fact, a lot of times there's literally no AIs attacking you. But then you will have a griefer with an oppressor, and all it takes is just for them to lock onto you. One missile, they press one button on the controller, and 8 hours of your work is gone. Well, I mean, well, they
But
would
yeah,
have to.
but that can
There's
happen in Minecraft too, right? Like you're in like a cave or whatever, you fall in the lava or whatever.
yeah,
All of your diamonds or I don't know,
yes, and there's a lot of people who are
cobalt.
like legitimately, upset at losing their
Yeah,
stuff to diamonds, right? But
but
you
it's
at the
still an
same time
overall.
you
Even
can
though
still
that's the
prevent
case, it's
you can still like prevent your stuff from falling in lava. It's not like the lava is like designed or is a human and is purposely hunting you to lower your well-being. That's like another
well,
big
yeah, but the
insult with
AI is
grief.
meant to hunt you down, right?
Well, yeah, but the AI is not as powerful. It's not
What do you mean? They a creeper could just blow up and kill you, and then you lost all your stuff.
okay. So yeah, but again, there's ways you can prevent that, right?
How
There's
is there
like,
not on GTA?
well, let me think about that because there's the difference there. Because with I again, I mean, we're kind of I really am kind of focused on the person's intentions, right?
But
Of
you
destroying,
can't pivot
like,
back to
okay,
that when we already
listen,
agreed.
listen. If okay, yeah. So if someone were to destroy uh if someone were to get their stuff destroyed, okay, um that's like a moral consequence type thing. That's like just something bad that happened to you, right?
Uh-huh.
So with griefing, right? I'm not talking about like the moral consequence being this like big thing. That's not my concern. My concern is
Well, you
with the
just
actual
agreed if the net well-being was higher, then it would be fine.
um
And their intentions weren't to lower their suffering.
yes, but that's not what I think griefers in GTA 5 or the majority of griefers are doing.
Okay, but do you agree? Okay, for the ones who aren't doing that, do you agree that they're increasing overall well-being by filling the same role as the explosive guys?
No, I wouldn't. And
Why?
that's because I think they're overpowered.
I don't see that. What's the difference in power? I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be
Both of them can ruin hours of work, right? Easily.
well, yes, but I mean if you're like if you build a mansion, right? Let's say in Minecraft, okay, and then you like build up this like horde of creepers and you have like the like creepers can't even you would literally like you got to understand, right? With creepers, you would have to invite creepers to your mansion and like have them explode like over and over and over again, like
Well, I'm not
hundreds,
talking about. I'm just talking about the
maybe.
hours of work, like gathering stuff, right?
Yes, but it would be okay. You understand if there would be if a game developer were to make a creeper, right, that exploded like the entire map you worked on, okay,
That's not in GTA. I don't believe that that's in there.
that's oppressors. That's they fly around and they destroy your stuff at the tap of a button.
Like what
That's
stuff? Like what gets
players.
destroyed?
Your cargo, the stuff you're selling.
Okay, like how many hours?
Like to fill up a hangar warehouse by yourself, that's like that takes 8 hours.
That could easily be the same amount of work in Minecraft and just the same amount quickly. Like you
Yes,
just die.
yes, but then if the game developers were to put this like red creeper or something in the game where like literally
That's
everything,
more overpowered than in the GTA. It's more
no.
hours to build a huge giant mansion than to.
Okay, well let's say you build a mansion for like 8 hours. Okay, 8 hours is still a lot of time. Okay, and there's this red creeper in the game that blows up your entire mansion. Okay, that would be like overpowered, and that's I would be concerned
Why
with
is
that,
that
right?
different than the 8 hours gathering? I don't see why that's different.
It's the same in the GTA
Okay,
context.
so it can already an action of that consequence can already happen in Minecraft. So I don't see the difference.
Well, the, what do you mean the action can already happen in Minecraft?
Like that much time invested, 8 hours, can already be destroyed in like an instant in Minecraft. So
Yes.
you don't need to add extra ones to make it analogous because it's the same already.
Um.
It's like there's some actions in GTA that would take out 8 hours, but they can't be destroyed in an instant, right? Cargo isn't the only thing that might take 8 hours.
The
Just like building a mansion isn't the only thing that might take 8 hours. Gathering stuff isn't the only thing.
Not quite following what you're saying.
I'm saying as long as there's one, way to destroy 8 hours of work, it's analogous. Because
Um.
that's the thing that you're saying is so wrong is that 8 hours of work are destroyed,
Well,
right?
I'm saying there would be there would be a moral consequence there, but
Yeah.
I
But
wouldn't
we already agree
condemn.
that we're sidestepping the intentions for now because we're just disagree
Yes.
about the empirics, right? So the moral
So,
consequence is the only thing that matters right now. And as long as there's one action, right, you're going to agree is wrong. If it destroys 8 hours of work,
well,
you're
I'm
going to
not
be.
going to say it's wrong. I'm just going to acknowledge that there's a consequence there. So, like with the creeper, red creeper example, I will say that that consequence is like similar to the GTA 5 context consequence of a griefer destroying your stuff. But I think it's like
Okay,
a
what about the
contradiction.
moral consequence of blowing up and losing all your collected stuff, right?
Yes, because that's more like preventable, right? That's you
How?
know,
I don't see.
it's I mean like you can give a situation, right, where you're being chased by mobs or something. I mean, it's very easy to not have all your stuff destroyed by mobs. It's very when you're mining, it's very easy just to be careful and don't mine down. Like,
What if a guy just falls on top of you and then explodes?
well, I mean that's very rare, but I mean I would say the moral consequence would in that specific situation would be high, but it's not
So
having
you're saying the
mobs in the game.
rarity of it is what matters, right?
Yes, but in that specific example, I can acknowledge that the uh, like if there was a 1 in a million chance that this red creeper would destroy your entire stuff, right? I would acknowledge that that specific situation and where the creeper destroyed like literally everything you owned in 8 hours of work,
Okay,
right?
but
Is
like you're
the
saying,
consequence is high, is just as high as griefing.
but the reason it's
But
different right now is because the rarity is higher, right? Is that what you're saying?
yes,
Okay, so
but
what if they just added
I
another
would not say that.
difficulty to Minecraft where the rarity was just as much as GTA?
What would you say?
What if they just added another difficulty to Minecraft, right? Where the rarity of losing 8 hours of work is just as high as in GTA.
Then I would say the consequence is the same.
But would
But
it be wrong to
I
add
wouldn't
that
say one is
difficulty in?
um it depends on why they're adding this difficulty.
To make more risk.
Yeah, yeah, but why are they making more risk? Is it to
Because I
and
think
make
it's
their
more
game
fun
more
for the player.
entertaining? Or is it to make their game more entertaining?
No, it's just they just think it would be a good feature.
I mean, surely they would have some other reason than that, right? Like it would make
Let's
the
just
game
say
more
that's the only reason.
like that's a
Would
pretty
that be morally
ridiculous
wrong
reason.
to add that difficulty?
I wouldn't say it's morally wrong, no, because they aren't
Why
doing it
not?
for specific. But they aren't doing it to specifically lower well-being. Okay, there might be some moral consequence to it. Um,
Okay, so that's the analogous to the griefers then.
no,
It's the
because
same moral
no, because
consequence
I
as
no,
the intentions aren't to lower well-being.
well, because I would argue that like 99% of griefers,
No, no,
their
no, no.
intentions are
Listen,
lower
I'm not
well-being.
talking. I'm saying without the intention part, right?
Yes,
The
without the
griefers whose
intention part,
intention isn't.
without without the intention part, I would say that that's morally wrong, or it's not morally wrong.
All right. So you agree that for the griefers who aren't doing it to increase suffering, right? It's not that they're too over.
Yes, but that's
It's just
kind.
more.
Yes, but that would
It's
be
morally okay.
yes, but that would be kind of like saying, okay, well, chopping someone's toes off if that person isn't gonna want to intentionally. Well, that's another
Yeah,
There's
that's
other
way
problems with that.
different.
Yeah. Okay. But like if that would be like destroying someone's painting in real life. If the
How
person
does that
isn't doing
that
that to
doesn't
look,
increase the overall well-being of the game?
yeah, I wouldn't, yeah. So we would just argue about that because I don't think
No, but
that,
it does. You already agreed it does in the Minecraft case, right?
well, no, it depends on the severity of like the moral consequence.
The
So
extra difficult,
I
like it
don't think,
doesn't take away from the smaller difficulties, except maybe there's like an achievement. They add an extra item in the new difficulty, right?
no, they all they do is just like, there's no incentive. All they do is just add a red creeper into the game that might destroy everything you've worked
No,
on.
no, it's a new difficulty. It's a separate. You can choose not to do it, but there's some incentives to do in the difficulty, like there's an extra item, or there's like an achievement or something.
Um, well, I think that the moral consequence would probably be lower if if you were to specifically.
Hello, hello.
Oh, that was my mom. Uh, anyways, where were we?
I was saying, is it wrong to add the difficulty if they add some incentives, but it's the same risk as GTA, right? But you don't have to choose that difficulty.
Okay, okay. My mom called me again. Sorry, could you repeat that?
I was saying, is it morally wrong for them to add the difficulty if their intentions are not to lower the suffering?
Then
And
I would say it's not morally wrong.
okay, so what's the symmetry break between that and the griefers whose intention is not to lower the suffering?
The griefers that intentions are not to lower the suffering. I think that they're fine. I don't think they're morally wrong in what they're doing. I would, and I would say that the only problem I have is I think that they're intentionally lowering well being pretty much, and obviously there's a moral consequence to what they're doing, and I value that, just like I would
You
value
agree
kind
that
of.
the moral consequence is the same in both, and that's okay, right?
Yes,
In the
if we
Minecraft
were to
case.
have a red creeper um, destroy their stuff, but I wouldn't call that situation morally wrong, but I would still like have sympathy towards the person if they get really upset
Sure, you can
that
have
eight
sympathy.
hours of their work got destroyed by like this AI creeper.
Yeah,
Like that's still
that
moral
would,
consequence.
but it still increases the enjoyment for the people who play it, right? Because why would they play that version otherwise, right?
Um, well, I mean, let's say there's like, uh, it depends on what the achievements are, right? Like,
It's the same incentive level as the GTA.
yeah, yeah. So I would say that they're doing it for that they're doing it for that achievement or whatever, but they don't want their stuff to be all of their work. Like if you put your time, right, and dedicate it to this project and stuff, and then it gets destroyed, like I don't think it's
It's
you're
about the
you're just
risk
not going
reward,
to
right?
care
It's
about
like
you're not I don't think you're not going to care about that just because it's
I'm not saying
the
you won't care,
achievement.
but I'm saying the reason there's the extra incentive is because it's harder to get it, right? Because of the griefers. Same thing with the griefers. It's like
um
it's harder to get that extra incentive, but that it's fine because you made the choice to try to go for that incentive.
Yes, but there's a specific reason why you want that incentive. Like you only want the incentive, right? It doesn't make someone doing X to you wrong or right.
Well, what about adding the creeper then? Isn't that wrong then? Because that's doing something to you.
No, well, it depends on why you add the creeper. That's the thing.
It's just let's just say they thought it would be a great feature. Okay,
Okay, then
they
I'm
had fun coding that.
yeah, then that would be morally okay.
So we agree. All right. The only one that we disagree on is the ones that are um, well, I don't even. We disagree whether or not most of them are doing it intentionally
Yeah.
to lower the well-being.
Yes.
You don't think it could just be that they're having fun, like blowing up stuff?
No, because if I were to give them a situation where, hey, look, there's this server, there's this invite only, where you can get an oppressor, you can get a laser, you can go in invite only. There won't be anyone who like messes with you, right? So you can blow up stuff all day long, and
So you
and there'll
use
be
all those
less
people, right?
lag. There'll be
That are
less
just getting
lag.
this enjoyment of just causing people to be super upset. Like, you think that's what's on their mind when they're blowing up all this stuff?
Absolutely. If you're destroying something that you know someone values, absolutely, I think you're doing it to lower their
All right,
well-being.
well, show me the evidence, okay?
Um, I mean, I can show you.
I want good evidence here.
Okay, I mean, I can. Okay, if do you evidence that they want to do it to lower well-being.
That most of them.
Okay, most of them. Okay, well, I pushed the talk on. I need. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's Excel's number one triad. Says fuck the grinders, most feared, most hated. Um, this is like you click on his video, you click on his channel, but that's
Okay.
just his description of what he is, right? Um,
Okay.
and you
It
got
seems just like role playing.
this. This is not role playing. Orb spamming trash grinders.
That's just role playing, man. It's just playing a
What?
game.
How is?
It's like trash talk.
Mm,
Like if you can get him on record saying, "I just get this immense joy out of causing people suffering," like that's the part he likes, then I'll agree.
well, okay. I'm
About this
actually
one
yeah.
guy,
I'm
not
actually
about
I'm pretty
most
sure he
people.
did. I'm pretty sure he did say something like that in top reasons of grief or whatever. One of the videos. I'll see. I'm pretty sure he
And
did say
even
that.
if you show that for this one guy, that's not showing that most of them.
I mean, like just looking at his channel, do you not think that this person cares at least a little bit about like making the people they grief sad? Like they just don't. They just like they're like mindless like drones who just like um like
Well,
I'm
maybe this
killing
one
people.
guy does. I don't know. I have no idea. But that doesn't say
No,
about
I mean,
the majority.
There's a video of him griefing role players in car meets. Like that's literally just people having fun, and he shows up with an oppressor, right, to destroy these people's like cars and stuff when they're having a fun time. Like, do you not think that that's a little bit like there's something evil going on there?
Okay, let's just say that's the case that this guy is like getting the joy out of causing people suffering, okay?
Yeah.
How does that show how does it follow from that most of them are doing that?
Well, I think it's just I mean, I have my own like intuition about it. Like there's a lot of people who make we can click on any one of his videos and there's a lot of people who make comments about it. There's a lot of people who grief and then they will
I just
send
see like 6.5 thousand views, like that's not that much.
that. I mean, there's not a lot of griefers, but there's also people like the amazing CJ.
They're probably all the same community. Like
The,
maybe they're just
yeah,
more likely to band up. And all the people viewing it are probably not
like wait, hold
agreeing
on. Like
exactly with
okay,
the
if
reasons.
if okay, so if someone were to make a channel, they were to call it like freaking number one paint destroyer or whatever, and they had like this channel's like most hated, most feared, fuck the grandmas, and then they make song, they make.
Okay, we already agreed there's a difference about the overall well-being of the grandmas are not knowledgeable about the risk, right?
Yeah, well, let's say they are. Let's say yeah. So like the
They
analogous
agree.
situation, yeah, the analogous situation I was referring to. Let's say that they signed the contract and they knew that someone could grief them, but they choose to go in the room and paint their paintings because let's
And they
say
have
their friends are there or
that are
there's better
slightly worse.
materials for them to paint.
Alternatives that are slightly worse, right?
Um, yes, or maybe like yeah, they just
All
get
right, then
less
I don't
enjoy.
really see the issue then.
I with with that with going into like an elderly home and like these
An
people
elder
still.
home that specifically cognizantly agreed to take on the
Yes,
risk,
but you
like
are okay. Listen, this is like I know it might seem when you're talking about like them signing the contract that it might be an okay thing to do, but these grandmas they still value their paintings and they don't go there because of the griefers, right? They go there because of the incentives. It's like if there's a woman who's like, you know, uh, who wants to wear revealing clothes, right? I don't think it's like um and she understands that there may, like even if there was a situation where like if she were to wear revealing clothes it's legal for you to rape her or something like that, like, and she knows there's way more likely of a chance.
that's a silly analogy.
Well, I'm just like we gotta have sympathy for these like grandmas because they're freaking like they still value their paintings just like a
Yeah, but
woman
the ups and
wearing
downs of the
revealing
painting,
clothes.
right?
What was that?
The emotional ups and downs is what makes it that much more enjoyable. That's why that, I'm guessing that's why
No.
a lot of them are joining.
Well, I would say
If
if
you
that's
know that
why.
all of them
No, no.
joined because
Okay. So I would say if that's why they're joined, then I wouldn't have sympathy for them, right?
it's just part of a
If they
reason. It's
joined
just part of a
specifically,
reason.
if they just if okay, like if it was part of the reason, I would have less sympathy for them. But if they
All right. Well, I think that's the case in the game
yes, but I do not think that.
because they have easy alternatives that are barely worse, right? You said what,
W-
like 2%?
Well, I mean, no, a 30% bonus for like you know millions of dollars that's like a decent amount of
Yeah, but
money
it's
and
like
then
video game dollars, right? It's not like real dollars. Like
well
it's like an extra hour of playing a game that you like. So I don't see.
well it's more money for you to purchase more items which you value.
It,
Let's
it's just if it's fun to play the game, I don't see like if you really hate the risk that much. Like I think it's a reasonable assumption
let's
for
like
the griefers to come
if,
in being like, okay, everybody here is at least somewhat okay with the.
well
Otherwise, they would be in some other place, right?
okay so they're somewhat okay with it. I think that yeah, so I would be less sympathetic to someone who is or like wants part of the risk. They want part of it, right?
Yeah,
But
I think that's a reasonable
yes,
assumption, right? Because
w-
everybody then
I
knows.
no because again, like if you look at the way griefers behave, they'll spend like 8 hours filling up a cargo shipment or whatever. Okay, and then they'll sell it in public lobbies, and if there's a griefer or something, they will get like they will leave the session, and that'll like decrease the amount of money they make.
Yeah, but it's still like, oh wow, I got away with this. Like I got some money.
I
Why wouldn't they just sell it somewhere else?
well, because I don't think it's entertaining to like you got to understand too, right? Like all grinding is literally like it's so boring. You just
Well,
transfer.
why are they doing it anyway then?
They're doing yeah, so it's boring, right? So the reason why they're doing it is for the money, which is being ruined by griefers.
Why wouldn't they just cheat it in?
Well, because they don't want everything for free, right? They value working like the way the game intended you to. Like most
There's
people
no
I don't.
servers without griefing that keep the 30% bonus.
Well, yeah, okay. So with PC, it's a lot. I have like probably less sympathy for grinders because, Jesus, there's probably there's literally like communities out there you can join without like downloading anything or anything that like um there's like no griefers in there at all and you can grind completely safe. Okay, but uh I'm talking like I have a PS4. I can't afford to buy a PC, right? So if I wanted to grind, which I don't, I'm not a grinder, but if I wanted to grind, I mean, I just have access to my PS4. I don't have like it's not like I can just, make the switch and go on a server that's like completely no griefing and like with mods or something.
All right, well, I just think that the 30% downgrade or whatever does not outweigh the 40% net well-being bonus that they bring.
Um, uh,
Because like most people are going to be fine, like going at 30% minus, right? So the few people that aren't are just going to be like they're not going to be outweighed by the people who are having fun, like in the situation with the griefers, right? Having more fun that way.
uh, um, repeat that again. Sorry.
Most of the people who are choosing to go into the risky servers, right? It's not going to be, or most people who are going to be okay, like with the 30% downgrade, right? Because they're playing the game, they enjoy it. So the few people that are going to be like super upset and like super incentivized by the small incentives, I don't think they're going to be outweighed by all the people who are joining who enjoy like the status quo situation of griefers versus grinders, right?
Yeah. I I I don't think it really matters that much. If what you're doing is going to be like incredibly boring and you're just the only benefit from doing it is money, like even if the incentive is going to be lower or higher for you having this risk, right? I like a lot of and again, a lot of people too. They will sell in free for all in free aim
Yeah,
lobbies,
because they
right?
like taking on the risk. Like they're like, oh, I could if I can get away with
Yes,
this, like then I'll
but
get more money.
yes, but free aim lobbies, right? They can have the same amount of people as auto assist, right? But usually people are more aggressive in auto assist, and they so grinders will know this, right? And they'll go to free aim lobbies that have like lower amount of griefers, right? And they will get the benefits from the 30% or whatever if it's a full lobby. So I don't know why they would like specifically try to avoid all these things. I mean, they like the professional stuff. He's made videos on like how to avoid griefers and like he's talked about his own personal experiences. Like one time there was like this new thing he was saving up for and he spent like 8 hours grinding and then he got it all destroyed and it was like he said it was like he took a break from the game. He was really upset about it. Like I don't know, like if that's correct, then I don't have sympathy for these people. I agree with you. If they you know are okay with the risk, I'll agree with you on that.
But
But
he is okay with the risk because he decided to join it for the incentive.
well, yeah, well, you can be okay. So you can do an activity where there's a risk, but not be okay with the risk.
If
Like you can
there's a
be,
readily available alternative that's like the incentive is small, like
well,
30%
I
of
mean,
video game cash, right? It's not even like something that's
that's,
going to make or break your life.
uh, I mean, I think there's activities people do all the time that like can be risky. Like uh you could be a celebrity that goes out in public or something. Like you aren't gonna get, you know, physically assaulted if you
Okay, but going out in public is a way huger incentive than 30% more video game cash, right?
Um, well, let's say just a activity. Let's say like you're just making a painting like out in public or something. Like, you're
Okay.
drawing a painting out in public. Do you think the incentives for maybe they just like being in public because they like the people are there. There's like uh they have more stuff to maybe paint or
I don't
something.
think it's a reasonable assumption for them to make that. Like, I think they're going to be okay with the very small, insignificant risk that somebody's going to come and destroy their painting. It's going to be way smaller than it is on the server, right? So
Um,
if it's that small, it's not even going to be on your mind when you're making the decision. But if everybody knows, like, if I go on the server, there's a chance I'm going to get griefed, right?
oh,
Then
okay.
and there's a readily available alternative.
Well,
That's
let's say the chances are like the exact same then.
to get to destroy the painting.
Yeah, well, for a random person you're in public with to destroy the painting.
I don't
And then
see any
maybe it's
right to do
legal.
it, but
Maybe
I
it's
would say that
legal.
they agree to the risk. Like they acknowledge the risk, right? They think the risk is worth it if they're doing it in public.
Don't
Otherwise, they would choose it.
but like don't you feel like if there was like a group of like teenagers or something and they were just like, hey, let's destroy this grandma's painting. Hey, she knows she's out in public.
No, that's
She signed.
wrong because it like I said before, the other factor of the net increase in well-being in the game,
Yeah,
right?
so Yeah.
I don't think anybody painting a painting is going to be like enjoying the riskiness of having their painting destroyed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because going out in public is a way huger incentive again than whatever is on the GTA server.
Yes. Dude, I just think we disagree on like um how much grinders enjoy like the risk, because I do not think they enjoy the risk, not even like a little bit. Like they
Okay, but
grind
like,
purely like
what reason do
if
you have to
all
believe that?
I mean
It seems like you're just saying your intuition. I don't think that's.
I've seen videos of the professional like talk about his hatred for griefers and why,
That's
you
like
know,
one guy though.
yeah, no, but he's like really popular, and you can look at the comments and like everyone's agreeing with him.
Yep.
I mean, listen, if
Look. Just because an
you could,
asshole is
there's at
popular,
least
right?
a community, right? You understand that, right? There's a community of people who follow the professional and who agree with his anti-griefing
Well,
takes.
here
I can
my
show you videos of
intuition
it.
is that they're role playing.
There,
I
like,
really don't think there's this
okay,
huge community
okay,
of
wait.
video game people who are like
I can I can
sociopaths,
show you his
sadists.
I can show you his video on griefing, and we can like just go through it and his arguments
Well, what
against it.
a video's not going to convince me. I'm just telling you. Like,
Well, I know, but like we can. Are you? Do you like? We can watch it and we can see
I
if you
need like
think he's.
like some polling.
I
Otherwise, I don't
okay.
think you have
Wait,
any
listen,
reason to
listen,
hold the
listen.
position you have, right?
If listen, I just want to know. Like, I understand your criticism of me having just intuition. That's perfectly fine, right? Uh if maybe I should rethink how many grinders think this way, or how many griefers think this way, or if they're role playing or not, that's perfectly fine. But I'm just I would be able to easily bite the bullet on that. If most grinders care about the risk, I'm
Well,
not going to
since
be
you don't know
sympathetic
right
for it.
now, you should just be ambivalent towards whether it's.
Well, no. Okay, so if we're talking maybe about the majority of grinders, maybe I should the majority of griefing. Maybe I shouldn't say that's morally wrong, but specifically with people like XL's number one tryhard,
All
right?
right.
Or Mel Smith, with with their communities, with the professional, with XL's number one tryhard, I can talk like negatively about them.
Yeah, but you'd have to specify, right? You can't just
Uh,
say griefing is morally wrong. Otherwise, I don't think that fits what you're
yeah,
trying to
okay,
communicate.
okay. Well, if that's your criticism, then I'm totally fine to like change my thing to be more specific.
All right. So that's a concession.
No, listen.
Well, you're
I
gonna
would
keep
no. Well,
saying.
listen. It would be listen. It
I
would
just
be
moved you off the proposition that
well. Okay.
griefing is morally wrong, right?
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I would have no hard feeling. I'm passionate about like specific griefers and specific grinders, and they're and that specific community I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
Like
that's a
what?
different debate proposition, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. If you want to say that, but like it's not like a I don't know if I would be like say I conceded it.
All right. Well, I gotta go get my car
Okay.
unstuck from the driveway.
All right. Okay.
See ya.
See ya. Damn.